I've stopped buying into Tesla. I've started buying into Apple.
You stopped buying into Tesla.
Right. Don't expect so much from Tesla. Just lower down your expectations.
Wow, I always thought you were like a Tesla person. So what you're saying is, what's the worst advice have we ever received?
What's the advice? Wow, my wife.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Learning Podcast. And if you aren't sure, it's a Singaporean podcast dedicated to learning something new from every single guest on this show. And today I'm super intimidated because the guest today I have is extremely big. But first of all, I have to thank Kelvin for coming on this podcast.
Hey, thanks for inviting. Don't be intimidated. I'm also intimidated by
No,
our guests.
please. Today I also have my good friend with me, Andy.
Hi.
And I have to thank Andy because he's the one that pushed my ass to actually reach out to more people and actually restart this podcast because it has been a while since I started this podcast. So back to the guest. I think this guest, Kelvin, has literally, in a very awkward manner, right, changed my life in a way because I was from Annualized Business School, right? The professor would teach you about options. But it never crossed my mind, right, that you could actually earn like a good amount of money. I'm not sure about you guys, but an additional 2K, 3K, 4K income, it's extremely good to me. And to be honest, it's because of him. That's the reason why I have additional income and it's very helpful. You can reinvest it in general. So I'm very thankful for that. And yes, your videos do change lives.
Okay.
Yes. I do agree actually, JJ. Actually, me, myself as well, I also watched Kelvin's video. And also, the best part is that we are using the same brokerage account.
Interactive brokers.
So the step-by-step, methods are really very good. And that is how I really started my journey as well. Selling puts, etc.
Got it. All right, if we go all the way back, right? I know, Kelvin, you're from Malaysia, right? Ipoh, right? Could we just go all the way back to your childhood? What kind of kid were you? Were there any inklings into what you're going to become in becoming this famous YouTuber in Singapore, right? How were you as a kid?
Actually, no. It's like since young, right, I always opted to choose the easy way out. Like I always wanted to be like a carpenter. A primary school teacher because I felt that the job was the easiest. You don't have to deal with all the adults, all the complicated stuff. Like even like my recent job as a programmer, before I lost my job as a programmer, I chose that because I don't have to deal with people. I don't have to talk to random people. All I need is the computer and just do my work in peace lah. So I call myself more like introvert. And this whole YouTube thing is more like I force myself to step out of my comfort zone. And that has led me to where I am today. Yeah.
So, like for your background, so you're introvert. Let's say when it came to even coming to Singapore, what was that thought process? Like leaving home, going to Singapore, a faraway place, right? What was that thought process? Do you have any siblings or did your parents go to Singapore? what kind of parents do you have?
Actually, like for Singapore, it's more like a random thing.
Random?
Yeah, right. Because like my friends came here. That's why I came here. There's no real reason to this. And as a Malaysian living in Malaysia, Singapore felt to me is like Mexicans looking at US. They are like, America! Just to me, it's like Singapore!
Okay.
So my impression of Singapore is that it's a very rich place with all the Malayans and whatever. And when I came here, it is a rich place.
Okay.
Then I discovered like a lot of talents come to this place to learn and to grow and to earn money. Yeah, so RM1, RM3 to SGD1.
Yes.
So I think that's the main reason why many Malaysians decide to come here. And I think if anyone takes the opportunity, it's not just the money alone. You can meet a lot of people, a lot of talented people and grow from there, start a company. So I think this whole YouTube wouldn't have been possible if I had just stayed in Malaysia because I would still be in my comfort zone with my parents and my friends or whatever. Yeah, so coming here is probably a blessing in disguise for me, yeah.
When you first came to Singapore, how was it like? Did you have difficulty adapting to the culture or something that's comfortable to you? What was your early days in Singapore? Like actually, when do you come here? Like were you in secondary or university?
University, yeah. So
okay.
I came here around 2007 when the exchange rate was still very cheap. I think it was 1 to 2 only. Now it's like 1 to 3. So life in university was very carefree. Like for the first time ever, I don't have to answer to my parents.
Okay.
Like I can sleep however late I want. I can play the games that I want. So I think as a result, so prior to coming to university, I was studying super hard for my A-levels, trying to get like 4As. 4As was the maximum. So I was trying to achieve that. Then once I passed that, it's like climbing Mount Everest. You have reached the peak and like from there on is downwards already. So that's my university life. I took an easy way out. To me, I just need the paper to pass and to find a job. So studies wasn't my priority back then. I was just busy having fun, playing games.
Nice.
Nice. But not financial wise. But I think looking back, I sort of regretted taking life too easily because because my parents sort of sponsored my education.
Okay.
Part of it. I still took a loan.
Okay.
Yeah. So and it would have been the same study in Malaysia university compared to Singapore university. It's the same. It's almost the same. You only need a paper, then you will have found a job. The only difference is that Singapore's university tend to give you more opportunities like overseas college, internships, and mixing around with all the talented people from China, India, right? They are here to steal jobs. No, I mean not steal jobs. I mean like they are talented. They are coming here to find
smart.
jobs. Yeah, right. So I didn't took all these initiatives to meet them. I didn't took the initiative to go to internship, all this kind of stuff. So it would be the same compared to studying in a Malaysian university. So that was one thing I regretted not doing lah.
During your thought process in university, like year 1, year 2, mainly while you were having fun, do you have any thought about what you would do in the future, like settle down in Singapore, work in Malaysia, or no lah, just have fun, and basically that was one of your regrets, is it?
Yeah, I think like if you ask any like university students, the average kind lah, not the expert kind, the average kind wouldn't even think about life after graduation. They will just think about their next lecture, their next tutorial. And that's it lah. Like that. So that's my entire 4 years, which I felt wasted a lot of my time and my parents' money. So that's what I regretted.
Was there even a point of time where there was a switch, maybe in year 3, year 4, where you got to graduate? Oh shit, like I need to do something. Did it ever happen, or like you just happily graduate? Okay, what's next? Is it like what was the thought process?
Yeah, that's what's so like not even after university. So university, I graduated. Okay, let's find a job. Let's find a job that's easy to me. A programmer job, and I think this continued on after a few more years after I graduated, maybe like 5-6 years more. Then I met my wife. I met my wife. Then
how specifically do you meet your wife, at work or like how?
It was through a dating app.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
So I felt lonely. Then I used a dating app.
Okay.
Yeah, but before that, actually I am like secretly a person who likes to fill my time with projects lah. So as a programmer, I can create apps on my side. So right after I graduated, I started to create apps projects after work. So but the thing is, every app project failed. First one, I tried to make games. I tried to make the Singapore bus app or whatever.
Were those kind of games like published on like Play Store? Is it then you would hope that like many people will use it?
Yeah. So I published, then it flopped. So that continued on for like.
Would you share like these details, because I'm sure like it meant a lot to you to put in so much work, right? What's it like where did the initiative or burn the desire to create this come from? Is this a thing to scratch your itch?
Yeah, I think it's just a thing to scratch my itch lah. Like as a programmer, I think most programmer would be very interested to create stuff on their own, because like I think it's only one of those professions that can actually do that. Like if you ask a doctor, they don't have any side projects. Or if you ask engineers, they can't really do stuff by their own. But a programmer can do that because he has already all the tools that are necessary to do that. So for me, I wanted to create a game or apps that's by me lah. Then hopefully, if it does well, then I can do it.
I mean, right now we see you with this big YouTube channel, finance very successful, but you have obviously went through a lot of failures along the way. Like how many projects literally do you go through? I'm sure each of them meant a lot to you, right?
Yeah, I think on average, I fail every 2 years.
So the time frame, you took 2 years to work on one thing and it completely flopped.
You can say that it took 2 years, but halfway through I just lost interest because maybe it took too long. Maybe I see it didn't pick up or whatever.
What specifically was this idea? Was it a few ideas, right? What were these ideas? Just
some random puzzle games. There was even one like where I thought I could use the back camera to scan QR codes to send Wi-Fi data, sort of something like that. Wow. to share internet data, but it flopped. So this for this YouTube is just another side project that I wanted to start to try out lah. So and I fully expected it to fail, but I didn't. Oh wow! So that's nice. So that's my entire start till now. You can say that I'm unmotivated, but actually I'm partly motivated to do my own stuff also.
When you say motivated to do your own stuff, is it financial means or is it mostly a creative output? Because like you basically when you want to start an app, right? I want to have millions of users and I can big. Is it mostly a creative itch for you?
Yeah, it's just a creative itch. It's never to earn money. Like even for my job as a game programmer, I'm very lowly paid. The last I checked, even at the 7 or 8 year of working, I'm still earning lower than people who are graduating that year.
Yeah, I saw the YouTube channel on that. He actually shared, continue progress when he works. He's still lower as a fresh grad engineer.
Yeah, like people were earning like 5K. I was still earning like 4K in my 5th or 6th year. So to me, like money wasn't motivated at all. It was just my passion, chase my passion. You know, like us students do like that kind of thing, right? That,
The artsy-fartsy stuff, paint weird stuff, is it?
yeah, then people will ask, can this actually make a living? Yeah, so to them, passion is their priority. Making a living is second. I mean, not getting rich is second priority. So to me, it's the same thing lah. So this still happens. This YouTube thing pick up, not because I like money, it's because I like sharing. That's all. Yeah.
When it came to this thought process, do you have friends or families? Because for me myself, right, I have a lot of videographer friends, and I get like quite pumped up when I see other creators. Wow, they big. Then they do a lot of other stuff lah. So it helps to have that kind of community. Did you have that community, or was you mainly like a not to say lone wolf, but like a person just acting by yourself?
I think it was actually by myself. It was only after I'd done it for 6 months, I started to see YouTubers, financial YouTubers appearing. A lot of them.
Yeah, a lot of them.
A lot of them. And some of them even reached out to me. Right? Can we interview you? Then at the time I was only like 1K subs. Like, oh, okay.
That's me.
Yeah, so I only started to pick up around 2021.
Who do you reach out to? Like, was it intimidating?
I actually didn't reach out to anyone because I wasn't confident back then. I'm still not confident now.
No, please.
So I think the first one who reached out to me was Sidley. Yeah, so that one was the first interview.
Kenneth.
The time the girl was Clara, I think. So she said, we wanted to do a live session with you. And I was super nervous back then.
Live session, wow, that's hardcore.
Yeah, so I was like, my throat was super dry the whole session, and people were asking me to drink water. Yeah, so after that, after that thing, more people reached out to me. So, so I keep growing from there. Yeah.
If I can take one step back, right, if there's any advice you could give to anyone in university, right, what would it be?
I think first thing is don't just enjoy life. Okay, that should be your priority. Don't just enjoy life. But also you are in a university and it will most likely be your last time in a university unless you fail or you further studies. But you will only live forever. YOLO. So like just take the opportunity that you can, like meet as many people as you can. Or if you're lonely, just go find a girl or a guy. Because I think it's easier to find a partner in university compared to when you are working. Then that's the first thing. Then the second thing is go for internships. Like it's almost like a free pass to work. Even though the pay is low but it's very hard to fail as an intern unless you
intentionally want to suffer
fail.
them.
Then the third one is going overseas to study. Like if you are working full time, there's no way that you can go overseas to study for exchange So like just take all this kind of opportunity. Like if you can, or even like I recently see a lot of NUS, NTU, a lot of university students start their own YouTube.
Yeah, and the views they get is crazy.
Yeah. So this whole thing is picking up. So if you are in university, don't just bother by having fun. Take it as a very, very free time to explore about yourself So because you only have that 3-4 years to do so
Yeah, everyone only has that period, right?
Right.
Yeah. All right. Can I ask, right, for YouTube, at what moment did you know you quote unquote made it. Well, what moment, like, was it like a 1K, was it 5K, or was it when people started reaching out to you? When do you first thought, this is something that I can work on?
Actually, it's when my YouTube income exceed my day job. That's when I knew it's possible already.
May I clarify, like when you say exceed, right, is it like just CPM ads revenue or like with sponsorship?
Everything.
Everything, like, okay.
If it's just CPM, it haven't exceeded.
Okay.
I'm still earning a fresh grad pay with CPM.
Okay.
So it's everything. So that I knew that like if I continue doing this, it's possible to make a switch already. So that's when I knew I made it in a way. Yeah.
Could you walk us through the thought process when you're retrenched? Like,
right. At the time, I was actually earning a lot already. So last year, I actually shared a video where I made like 20K. That's when I already passed that threshold where I knew that I can go to do this full time. But it just surpassed only. It's still not stable. I still don't know where the trajectory is. Like you can still go back down.
yeah, because it
Right,
depends
no
on how
one
many
knows.
brands will reach out to you, or some months not good, some months good.
Right.
Yeah.
So I gave myself 1 more year to make this success, which is technically by end of 2022 to go full time. But just so happens my company closed shop. So I say, okay, why not just straight away do this full time lah? Worst case, I can go back to find a job 6 months later. No problem lah, because I already have the skills. I know that I can easily find a job within 1 month. So it actually wasn't a scary thought at all, because I knew what my backup plan were. Yeah.
Got it. Just now when we met you, right, you were like, I'm going to say fairly tired, because I know when you're a YouTuber, right, things are not as sexy as it seems on camera. It's very tiring. If I mind sharing, Kelvin told us he just woke up at 4:30. My God, who wakes up at 4:30? So like of all this process, there's so many videos that you need to work on, right? How do you stay creative? Like there's so many things you need to do. In general, how do you stay creative?
I think if you talk to any creative person, not that I'm creative lah, if you talk to any person who are creating stuff, they are passively very creative lah. They draw stuff from anywhere that they go. Like for me, I get my topics, my ideas from comments, from forums, from blogs. So I'm never out of ideas at all. Like even for tomorrow, like just for context, tomorrow will be the GDP data. So I know that okay, I need to cover this, because you tell us whether we are in a recession or not. So I think I will never run out of topics to cover. As for creativity, I think it just keeps coming on. Like even when watching shows, I will like, okay, this guy say this is a joke, potential to become a joke, this kind of thing. Yeah.
I think a hallmark for any influencer, right, is to deal with online hate, right? Do you deal with online hate?
So
like, okay, when was the first time you saw something that, why is this person saying some not nice things about me? Like, and how do you feel about that?
Actually, a lot,
is it?
Especially a lot of them started appearing when the market started to go down. So I think like some are actually legit hates. I mean like legit comments. They're constructive lah in a way. Some are just like, oh, you will fail kind of thing. Some are just trolling. Yeah, correct. Like for example, the ones that I can accept are like, oh, Celsius. You recommended Celsius went down. You recommended USD went down. So I'm okay to take the blame for recommending this kind of stuff to people. But for people who like, Tesla is going to crash to zero, and that kind of person is going to comment on my video every day, on every video. Wow. So after a while, I'm like, okay, this isn't worth my time. So I'll just block him. Just block him away from my channel. Then, okay, those are the ones that I can control. The ones that I can't control are on hardware zone.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So for those, I find that it's not within my control. So why bother about it?
But do you even reply on this forum? But you just check it out. You just
I just check it out.
The sentiment.
I log in anonymously and I check it out.
Yeah.
Then I see some of the comments. I know, Kelvin, you are watching. I like, yes, I'm watching.
I'm gonna make a video about this. Oh my God. But so the initial reaction wasn't like hate or like wasn't doubtful about yourself, but you find it more of like a humorous thing, is it?
Yeah, sometimes I do get doubt. Like people are asking, why are you recommending Arcade? And then of course I know that it's my mistake and I will learn from it lah. Then for some like there was one, this guy is recommending passive income from options, 6K a month. Is it even possible? Is he trying to sell a course? For those I just ignore lah. I find it very funny that they're trying to doubt me when I'm showing them the result that I did it already. So it doesn't matter to me so much.
Oh, okay. I mean, it did change my life last time. What's the ratio of positive comments to negative comments? And
I think it's like 90%.
or 90% positive.
Positive, 10% negative. And going forward, I'm actually trying to be a lot more careful when I'm talking about very sensitive stuff. Like last time I used to make a bit of, you can say it's racist joke, like talk in a very Chinese kind of slang, Hong Kong kind of slang. But going forward, if I'm going to grow big, I definitely can't make this kind of joke anymore. I can't talk about like F word or whatever. Yeah, so like I have to be a role model, right? Yeah. So I just need to like be very careful what I say. Like even in the past, I will say like, diversification is dead, value investing is dead.
Sounds like what Chicken Genius would say, right?
Exactly. I was sort of copying his idea, but I feel that like this kind of stuff is very dangerous to say. And if I'm right, okay lah, it's good. If I'm wrong, the downside is a lot more compared to the upside. So I'll be very careful in what I say going forward.
Oh yeah, I was thinking, you mentioned all this, right? You spend so much time and effort researching content, and you have to deal with also people who are commenting to your YouTube channel. And how do you deal with making so much videos, now currently, because we understand that you are making videos yourself, you have to create content, video record yourself. How do you cope? What is the intrinsic motivation driving you to press on so much? Right?
Right. So at the start, right, it's definitely passion lah. I know that a lot of people who start, like they told me, I quit. There were a few actually. They reached out to me. I said, "Oh, I'm a new YouTuber. I saw your success. I wanted to try it out." So I quit my job. I'm like, "What? Quit your job?" So I bought a gear already. I have that DSLR Nikon camera.
Are you doing any coaching?
No, I haven't. So when they told me that, I'm like, "Oh no!"
Oh my gosh.
The success rate is so low. You're almost guaranteed to fail. So to me, I was already prepared to fail right from the start. So the only reason I did it is because I was interested in the topics that I'm doing, like how to make more money, how to which credit card to use, which is the best savings account, those kind of stuff. Those are my interests. That's why I did them. It's not because of money. So for the first year alone, I'm earning almost like, I think like almost 10K. I forgot the amount. It's a very, very low amount lah. Basically,
10K low amount.
No, when you see the whole year and the amount of work that I put in as a part-time, it's definitely not worth the time at all for the first year. So even for the second year, I was earning, in total, I was still earning lesser than my day job. It was only in the lower half, second half of the year that my YouTube started to pick up. So money will never be the motivating factor. If you use that as the starting point, you'll definitely give up within 3-4 years lah. No matter how good your gear is. So that's the start. So now that I'm in 2022, it's almost past 2 years now. Already 2 years already that I started this thing. And now money is the big part of it. Like I always nowadays I will try to optimize my videos to earn as much money as I can. Like talk about trending topics. Like if right now I'm talking about credit cards, the views will be very low, and it will at most pay me $100 a day. Then $100 I must as well do something else already. So I will like money will be the main motivating factor, and that has also prevented me from getting too burnt out lah. Like working 16 hours a day is not easy.
Yes.
And I have to like brainwash my wife that all this is worth it in the end. So right now it's like almost like 60% passion, 40% money already. Yeah, and that's kept me going on forward. Yeah.
Okay. Then I also want to understand, right, Kelvin, because now you have you're a very successful YouTuber. You've been doing financial channels, sharing a lot of value content, and really making a change for all of us, right? We are watching you're subscribing to your videos. How about do you spend time for yourself actually to think about what you want, or what kind of role model you want to be for your children, and really spending time with yourself actually?
Spend time, yeah. So now I'm forcing myself to stop work when my kid is awake. So when she's sleeping, taking a nap in the afternoon, I'm still going back to work. So when she's awake, I will spend time with my kid. As for role model, I think I'm not doing it on purpose, but I just let the result speak for itself lah. Like I spend time with the kid. On weekends, I will bring the kid, go for outings. And eventually, all these kind of videos, she can still watch it in the end, right? Yeah.
A legacy.
So, yeah, as a legacy. So yeah, I'm not doing anything on purpose lah.
Got it. All right, let's move on to because I know you have a lot of content about finance. So actually, we intentionally don't want to ask you so much about finance because you got so much materials out there, right? I move on to the next category, which is parenting and relationships, because you are a dad as well. Andy's a dad, right? The question is, what unsolicited parenting advice do you have?
Right. So before I had a kid, I was wondering like, when will I ever be ready to become a dad? And I asked my friends also. And I think the answer is you will never be ready.
Yes.
Right? So when the kid pops out, you have to be ready to change the diapers ready, because otherwise it will get too smelly. You have to be ready to wake up at 2 a.m., 4 a.m., 6 a.m. for the first 3 months. So, and even on the weekends, you have to be ready to give up on your YouTube dreams. So like, there's never a time to be ready. And
So what was that spark? Was it because of a good conversation with your wife, with what you wanted out of it? Because at least for me, like even having a child is like just not even in my realm yet.
yeah, so this is also another thing that I'm wondering. Like, why do people want to have kids? Because kids is like a burden if you think about it. Actually,
So why
right?
do you want to have kids?
Right. So why do I have kids? So I think I consider it as a game where I unlock this side quest. It's a side quest thing to me. It's more experience lah. Like if I wanted to, I can just go on with living my life with my wife, traveling around the world, playing games until 80. But I wouldn't have the experience of having a kid. And I think that is a very big part, at least to me, like a big part of my life that I want to have. Be able to raise a kid and hopefully see the kid thrive in the future lah. So to me, it's a side quest thing lah.
I like the thought process. Like, everything is gaming related. It's good lah.
No, he basically gamified his life, so that everything is like, it's a very interesting perspective, because me and my wife have a different perspective towards having our own kids, right? So because before we have our own kids, we were thinking like, we need to be very responsible parents, because I guess everybody's upbringing is different, and we want to provide I believe every parent wants to provide the best for their family, right, and their kids. And being brought up in Singapore, we come from a family where parents the man is always going out to work and the woman will stay at home to take care of the family, right? So I think we had the discussion and we think that, okay, we decided to be a responsible parents, and that is how there's this Chinese phrase they always say 成家立业. Yeah, right.
What's that?
That means you first start a family and your career will prosper. Yeah, you lay grounds. Right. Yeah. So this sentence is really so true, because before that I was still playing with my life a little bit. I explored different jobs, and the moment I get married, my wife, and I decided to have a kid, everything changed.
Right. I think that's the same for me. Like the kid right now is also another motivating factor for me to do YouTube. To make it at least a success lah. So right before that, I was having fun in life. I didn't really care much about my expense, whatever. I was playing games. I was actually spending money on games.
Just a side note, what games
items.
What games do you play? Oh, what games do you play?
Random games lah. Now I don't have much.
Oh no,
time
not really. Have you eliminated games from your life?
Yeah,
already?
since my
YouTube. Since your child was born.
Since I met my wife as a girlfriend lah, since we started dating, I stopped playing altogether.
Wow.
And
how do you feel about that? It's like a
I miss
last
that.
Oh, you miss that?
I miss that. Yeah, so when I see people playing games, like recently there's this stray cat game. I want to play that. So it's in my waiting list. Eventually, once I get my whole life sorted out, I will go back to playing games. Yeah, on the side lah.
They say, right, you never really grow up until you have a child, because once you have a child, right, it forces you to care selflessly for another person. So what has parenting taught you?
What has parenting taught me? First thing, put a bed beside your bed. Otherwise, the kid will fall down and knock her head. That's the first thing I learned.
First thing,
because on the third month, fourth month, my kid already fell down and banged her head.
Wow, that's scary.
That was scary. Then subsequently, or the fourth month, fifth month, sixth month, seventh month, she keep doing that. Then I'm like, okay, I need to let her stop doing this. So I put a bed. So that's my advice for first-time parents. Then after that, I think now that my kid is actually going to school, I think I will try to spend more time, because if you are a parent, you will notice that your kid is actually growing every day. The face actually changes every day.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, so
The face change every day.
the face changes every day for the first 6 months. Yeah, like if you don't look at the kid for 1 month, one week lah, you wouldn't recognize your kid after 1 week. Yeah, so I only knew that was my kid because she was in the same bed.
Oh, oh my gosh. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
So to me, I think the biggest lesson is spend time with your kid lah, because your kid is growing up. There's only a 1-year-old kid, and after that there's 2-year-old, 3-year-old, and by then you can't even carry your kid anymore. After that there's 7-year-old. Right, 10 years later your kid will find a guy, a girl, and and wouldn't want to bother about you anymore. So like just take this whole time that you can spend as much time. I know that like work takes a lot of time in your life, but your kid, there's only that precious few 10 years that you can have with your kid. So that's my advice lah.
Yeah, I do agree with Kelvin actually. I think a lot of parents, like what Kelvin mentioned, right? We will never be ready for parents. And I think there's some perspectives towards like once you have your child, and they really, like age is something that goes forward and you can't reverse back. And once you miss this period of seeing them growing up, you may or may not regret. Right, so like exactly like what Kelvin mentioned. Now he works at home. He records YouTube. He really can spend time, really that time to appreciate that moment with the kid. I think that is something is very valuable, and that is also what I think inspiring to many more people. Right, watching his YouTube videos so that they can become financially independent and they really can stay at home to spend time with their kids.
At the end of the day, that's what most, I would say most people want.
Yeah,
I cannot
most
speak for
people
everyone.
want.
Yeah. What are the top 3 values that you want your daughter to learn from you?
I guess like be kind lah.
It's fun.
Hey, don't give guys.
No, just kidding.
Be kind. I think like be resourceful. Like I've survived up till now is because I know how to search for information. Be resourceful. Even if you are how smart you are, there are definitely stuff that you do not know. So learning how to find information is another important stuff for anyone. Be kind, be resourceful. I think probably the third one is learn how to manage your money well lah. Yeah, otherwise like eventually I earn so much is most likely going to pass down to the kid. Otherwise I will just donate lah. So if you don't even know how to use this kind of money, you just go back to zero. So learn how to use money well.
I know this is a sidetrack. What relationship advice do you have for your younger self?
Relationship advice.
When it comes to compromising goals with your wife, I'm sure she's worried about that you're doing probably this uncertain thing as well. Go big or go home, right? So I'm sure there are...
You mean relationship as in like couple relationship?
Couple relationship in general.
Yeah, so like actually in my early days, I was considered a sim lah. I was chasing this girl for a long time. I think like 5-6 years.
Wow. 5-6 years. Okay.
You're so loyal.
Eventually, I did manage to chase.
Okay.
But I felt like there's this like I'm a dog chasing a car. Then when I got the car, I don't know what to do with the car.
Oh, okay.
so that after chasing for so long, and I like, oh wow, I actually wasted my life doing this kind of stupid stuff.
Wasted your life? I mean, I'm sure you learned something.
Maybe like perseverance.
Yeah, perseverance.
Yeah, perseverance, and you reach your goal. But like, I think if you are young, okay, like if you can get a girl, great. Otherwise, I think like the second thing to love is yourself, right? If you don't even like yourself, then you definitely have no one will be attracted to you lah. That's what I feel. Like, so I think that's the advice that I want to give single guys who are trying to be sims.
Okay.
Like, so don't just try to chase the girl that you like. Also try to improve on yourself. Like, look at yourself. Why are people not attracted to you? At least that's what I would tell myself lah.
When did this like introspection start? Because I'm sure you have like chasing for 5 years, right? There must be like a moment. So when you got the car already, then you started introspecting, is it? Or like when did that start? I'm
When
curious.
did that start? After I got successful, then I got the qualification to criticize my own self.
Okay. Okay. In terms of like any other relationship advice you have for couples, yeah.
For me, I think definitely don't be a sim. Some people will just bend over their backs just to impress the other girl. So when I met my wife, my back then was girlfriend lah. I was telling her I can't meet you every day because I need to spend time to work on my projects. So to me, like that's my number one priority. If you can't, what's that?
Accept that.
You can't accept that, then there's no way we can go along together.
Also, you were very upfront, is it?
Yeah, I was really upfront. The first month, my wife was like, "Hey, why are we not going out for dates every day?"
Every day?
Yeah, she was.
Were you in
more or less
university?
expecting. No, that was when I was working already.
Working how do you go on dates every day, Eddie?
Actually, no, because my girlfriend was mentioning that actually we don't have to meet every day one because once we get married, we'll have a lifetime to meet each other.
No, but back then it was like puppy love. You wouldn't even think about marriage. So you're like, oh, we want to spend time every day. Then I'm like, no, I have my life too. So I like a few months into the date, then I tell my wife, I'm not a person who I'm not too into this kind of everyday kind of thing lah. I'm not a sim. The sim life is past me now already. So now I'm building my life. If you want, then join along. Otherwise, then we can't go along. So I think she accepted that. So even now, like I'm spending a lot of time on YouTube, she's accepted that. More like I brainwashed her into that lah. So like on weekends, she know that, oh, okay, in the morning, maybe she'll give me some time to work. But some people were like, oh, we want to go to parks. So she give me the time. Then I think we'll come to a compromise that, okay, this is a working time, this is a relationship time, and this is a kid time. So that's what I would say to young couples lah. Spend time for yourself. Don't just spend time for each other lah. Because eventually, if it doesn't work out, you won't have anything left already.
I think it's very rare for you to find someone like that to really empathize and understand, right?
I think you will definitely get like-minded people attract each other, right? So if you manage to get this kind of person, it's very likely that person will be your lifelong partner really. Yeah.
I think from what I hear from Kelvin, I think he mentioned one thing very important. I think communication is very important between the two, the partnership between the man and the woman. I think he communicated well since when they are girlfriend and boyfriend, and that itself has led to his marriage and also his child. I think communication is so important in terms of a partnership between the two people.
Yeah, definitely communication. That's the number one thing. Otherwise,
do you learn this from anything, anywhere? Do you read? Are you a book reader, like, or it came innately to you of your life experience of being a simp, or like did anyone teach you this, or like you just arrived it to your?
I think I just arrived it. I don't even know where I get this kind of thought from.
Oh, okay.
Like sometimes I see like NUS whispers. People are like complaining about their relationship online. I like, hey, have you even talked to your wife or not? Your girlfriend or not? Like, why are you asking strangers for advice when you are not planning to talk to your partner?
Yeah, that's a red flag. But to each his or her own lah.
Right.
People have different dynamic, couples dynamic lah. Anything else, Andy? If not, we move on.
Okay, let's move on to the next.
All right,
topic.
let's move on to the next one. Okay, we don't have much time. Investing. Okay, I want to ask you a lot about investing, right? What are your thoughts about financial gurus and finance workshops? Briefly, right, we were talking about like what I do for a living, right, like running ads online. So I was just asking Kelvin, what's the last YouTube ad he saw?
Chloe,
Yeah.
the options guru.
Yeah. So I have some sort of involvement there. What do you think of that?
So like, I see a lot of people hating on them. Because like, why are you charging money when you are perfectly fine by making money yourself? Like, okay, then I'm asking, like, the market is only open at night. What are they doing in the morning? Earn more money lah, of course. So like, okay lah, I'm not anti-guru. Like, if I'm anti-guru, then why there is a school, why there's a university? Because it's to teach people. You pay people for their experience. So that's where the guru comes in. They are sharing all their how many years of the knowledge in just 1 week or 2 weeks kind of style. So like, if they're legit, then why not just spend that 1-2K and pay for that course lah? Because like for me, I didn't pay for course. I opted to go the free way, and I made mistakes. And eventually, I still have to pay money after making losses in the market. Yeah. Like, if you ask any person, like, I know that people who started doing options trading after they watched my free video and they made mistakes.
Yeah, I made mistakes as well.
So you can consider that as a tuition fee already. Yeah. So like, if you are paying money, would you rather pay to the market or pay to the guru? So whichever you choose, either way, you are going to definitely have to eventually pay. Even if you're not paying someone, you're still paying with your time. So because like options, to me, I took the free route again. I
took the free route too.
It took me like 3 months to even learn this kind of thing. Yeah. So if I've learned this in the first 1 or 2 weeks, I'll be able to make money much faster already. So if you have a guru that is good, then definitely go for them lah. I wouldn't be anti-guru.
Because I feel like people like Chicken Genius gives a lot of hate on the gurus. So I don't get that same sensing from you as well. Because people learn differently. They want more guidance and advice. Okay.
Right. Yeah, definitely because I paid money to go to university. So I know the value of paying for education. So to dismiss all the gurus altogether, if they are fake, right, I think this industry wouldn't even exist already. MAS will shut them down already. I would just say it's probably just a few bad apples. Not
and
all gurus are
okay
bad. Yeah, like just for example, Adam Khoo, he has like 700-800K subs on YouTube.
He has a big YouTube channel, so I realize he's very active on all channels. Like even LinkedIn also, I see him posting a lot on LinkedIn.
That just proves that he knows what he's doing, and his course will most likely be legit already. Like otherwise, he wouldn't even get such a huge following. So I've really seen fake gurus like those kind who say that you trade based on the day of the month. You see this full moon, you trade this kind of thing. Those are the fake lah.
Okay. Okay, those are those trigger words, hot words to pick up.
Yeah. So otherwise, just find a good guru, see their reviews. Like I know that Reddit have quite a few reviews for the gurus. Even Hardware Zone, if they are fake, you will see a lot of hate comments already. Yeah. If they're good, just consider pay for them lor.
Then Kelvin, it'd be interesting, right? Now at your financial knowledge, right? How will you nurture your daughter, in terms of understanding saving money and investing? How will you nurture her financial literacy?
I think there's this experiment. I think that's called marshmallow experiment. Where you put this marshmallow in front of the kid. If the kid doesn't eat it for 1 hour, you get another marshmallow. Oh. So it's like what's it called? 100% return.
Wow,
so,
100. Wow, okay,
100%. So it's like what? Delayed gratification. So I think that's what I would teach my kid about delayed gratification. Then after that, I will teach the kid about volatility by taking the 2 mushrooms away, the 2 marshmallows away. If you're expecting 100% return, you better expect to lose everything.
Lose a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, like money, I think even many working adults, they don't realize the potential of money. They just keep the money. They just earn the money and keep the money in the bank. Like, what are you earning that money for? Is it just to spend till you are 65, 80, and then you leave the world? Like, I think this money, if you know how to use it well, you can buy back your time that you're actually losing every day. So I think that's what I want to teach my kid that don't just work for money. Know the real value of money, which is actually your time that you will never get back. So yeah.
Time is always finite.
Do you have what age you start educating her about all this knowledge? Do you
don't know that. I think like.
Have you already tried the marshmallow test already?
No, I think she will eat it now. Idiot. I think there's no age probably when she first gets her pocket money. Maybe I'll put it in a jar. Okay, you can use it or you can save it. Then maybe I will give you a bit of return. Then see what you can do with the money lah.
Yeah, actually the reason why I asked, I also want to hear some creative ideas, because I also have thinking, how do I want to nurture my own son, how to teach him compounding interest in a very, very layman term, at a young age, he understands the value of money. So I was thinking, now Kelvin has a daughter. I think it would be great to hear from him.
Just exchange ideas.
Yeah, so like that thing, not like in a jar, put it in a jar every day. Okay, you want to use, just take it. If you don't want to use, at the end of the month, I will see how much is in it. I will give you a percentage of returns. Then I think that will more or less give them the idea of what is investing the money and saving it and not trying to spend it everything lah. This is what I did in my earlier days. I was trying to spend all the money as fast as I can. So I think if you know this whole investing thing, you treat money with a bit more, I think, respect or whatever. Yeah.
All right, one more question about investing, then move on, right? This might be a sensitive question, but I think you share a lot of sensitive question anyway, right? Let's say you invest in S&P, right? Maybe annualized return, you get 9-10%, right? What annualized returns would you like? Would you be happy of? I know most of your portfolio is on Tesla, right? But what would be would it be a 50%, 70% double, or just to the moon?
So last year when me and a lot of people were watching Chicken Genius, he was saying he was aiming for 50%. That's what I said in my YouTube channel. So I wanted 50%. Then the comments was like, this guy is crazy.
Wow.
So that time I was like, hey, no, Tesla gave 50% growth rate. Then therefore Tesla should give 50% return. Then now that I think about it, actually no, this doesn't work. This only works in theory.
Yeah.
So I'm lowering my expectations down from 50 to just between 10 to 20. That's
10
all.
to 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't expect too much. Annualized lah. So because I'm investing in growth companies, so it has to definitely be more than 10 already.
More than S&P.
Yeah, more than S&P. So it's at most 20. I wouldn't expect too much. But also recently, I realized one thing. When Chicken Genius is gone from the YouTube space, this whole YouTube space become a lot more quieter. This whole thing.
Okay. Why was it quiet?
It's quieter. Like I used to chase his videos every Monday and Friday, and the things he say is actually very loud. Like I asked my channel yesterday, how many of you have bought into Tesla? How many of you have Tesla? Have how many percentage in Tesla? And almost 50% of them have 80% in Tesla. And I guess the reason is Chicken Genius.
Yeah.
So
because he does post his exact portfolio on his Twitter.
Correct.
Yeah.
So then I realized a few things. First, even though Chicken Genius has like 80% in Tesla, he's not 80% when you consider his entire portfolio. He has a lot of properties all around the world.
Yes.
And even business, right? So when you take into this holding into account, Tesla is probably like just like 30-40% of his portfolio.
Wow. Okay.
So when you think about it, why are you having 80% in your portfolio if you are having a normal job, not even like 100K in your bank account? Why are you following him? You can't even take the same risk as him.
It's very contrary though. I think like what you're saying is like very, very different.
Yeah, so that's what I found after
But I know for at least based on the latest video, I'm not sure, but you have still a majority holding in Tesla, right?
Correct. So
but then again, you are also outsourcing your efforts in the YouTube. You have a business as well. Not like some people who have just like
that business, I wouldn't consider it an asset. I just consider it as an income source, that's all. So the money that I have is my asset. So right now, a lot of my money is in Tesla, which after having the time to think, I don't think is wise for me at all. Because I definitely can't take that kind of risk. Yeah, so then you can argue that Tesla has that good risk to reward ratio. The EV is very popular, whatever. But what if Tesla goes to zero? Just what if lah? It may or may not happen. Can you rebuild this whole thing from scratch because you are so deep into Tesla?
Yeah.
So deep into Tesla. Even if it doesn't crash, it just go back to 100. I think many people are going to not financially recover from this.
Yeah, I mean, amounts of money will be large.
So don't expect so much from Tesla. Just lower down your expectations.
Wow, I always thought you were like a Tesla.
Yeah,
Bullish
about Tesla.
What you're saying is entirely different than what I expected. Wow, okay.
I came to this realization after the crash.
Oh, okay.
After the crash. This past few months.
It's sort of recovering, at least in the past few days.
Yes. But you still can't expect 50% return from it. No way Tesla will give you 50% every year. No way.
Okay. So 10 to 20% is where you're happy with.
So for me, I'm trying to diversify now. I know that if you see on YouTube, people who have very heavy holdings in Tesla, Chicken Genius, Rob Mao, I don't know. Solving the money problem, that guy, I forgot what's his name. All of them have
something else going
something
on.
else. They have an asset, they have a YouTube that is thriving.
Yeah.
So even if it goes to zero, they are fine. They can totally rebuild this whole thing in just 1 year alone based on their income. But if you are throwing your entire portfolio of 500K into Tesla, how many years it will take you to rebuild that kind of thing? So for me, I definitely don't want that kind of risk. So And after a lot of interviews, recently I did a lot of interviews. Then in one of the interviews with the woke salaryman, they told me that they were going very slow and steady. They were just buying the boring S&P 500, QQQ. The reason is because investing is supposed to be a secondary source of income. It shouldn't replace your main job. So your main job, so then back to the question, why are you expecting Tesla to give you more returns than the job that you are putting so much time in? It's
5 days a
definitely
week.
not doable. Yeah.
Unless you switch it around, if you have the balls to switch it around.
Unless you're a trader.
Yeah.
So that woke me up from my whole dream, or my dream lah. So
Wow.
So that's why I'm lowering my expectations. Just 10-20% is fine enough. Then concentrate on my day job, which is my YouTube, or for any other person lah. Like see how you can grow your day job income more. Change your what is that? Do a job change.
For you, not
ask
an
for
option,
promotion.
right? Because you are all in sort of lah.
Yeah. So even for that, I'm trying to diversify, not just rely on YouTube income. Because if you see YouTube, Google recently their ads earnings actually went down. You will know that YouTube actually takes about 45% of creators' pay income. So my income has gone down together with YouTube's income, with Google's income. So even for YouTube, even if I pick it up now, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to zero by next year. Like because of because of how YouTube does their kind of thing, their algorithm can change anytime. Another YouTuber can appear out of nowhere. Or even I get cancelled. I don't know.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I wouldn't all in into YouTube. I wouldn't all in into Tesla because it's too risky. Yeah. So I'm lowering my expectations to just 10-20%.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Sorry. One last question about investing, right? Because I'm more of a conservative person. I'm similar to woke salaryman. I'm mostly an S&P guy, but because of Chicken Genius and you, I start to put a little in Tesla. Right? How do you deal with large fluctuations? I'm sure in your account you do see drops like 50K, 70K. It just goes down, right?
Wow.
How do you just run it through the thought process? I'm sure everyone deals it differently because based on the stocks we buy, we need to have conviction before I buy, and because you have a lot of conviction, and that's why you buy, and you know and understand that. But what's the thought process when you see your portfolio drop by 70K or even 100K?
That was a joke I saw a while ago. This guy say, you should only invest what you can lose. Wow. Then the other guy say, oh, how much do you invest then? I invested everything and I lost everything. So your conviction, yes, it must be there. So for Tesla, weirdly enough, my conviction from Tesla actually came from YouTubers like Chicken Genius, because they definitely know their stuff. They're even though they are not having so much in their portfolio overall, they are still confident in it. And if they know a lot more than me, that gives me the confidence that it's more or less a good stock to invest in. Yeah. So I base my conviction on other people. Then other than Tesla, I'm going a lot more safer routes. By investing in just the top companies alone.
Apple, Microsoft.
Apple. Yeah, those I know that they definitely will be there.
Forever and ever. For a long time at least.
For a long time, not forever.
Wrong words.
So that's where I'm putting my money in nowadays. I've stopped buying into Tesla. I've started buying into Apple.
You stopped buying into Tesla? Oh.
Right. Because it's 80% already. How much more money can I throw in?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I say, I wouldn't expect so much from Tesla. 80% is good enough. I'm lowering it down even more by buying into other companies. I'm still not selling Tesla. I'm still not selling.
Yes.
So I'm buying QQ, Apple, Microsoft, this kind just diversify a bit. And the other reason is because I wanted to be a role model for when my channel becomes bigger. I'm not
it's
the kind.
What Chicken Genius was to you, and now you're becoming that to people like us.
Yeah.
Is it something like that?
A bit. But I wouldn't tell you to all into Tesla. Yeah, that's why you seldom see me make videos about Tesla, because I wouldn't want to pump the
I realize you seldom make videos
yeah,
about
Tesla. Because there are a lot of people doing that already. Yes, but Tesla videos monetize very well.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to pump it too much. If it goes down, which is definitely can, the market has priced in so a really perfect kind of Tesla already. Any mistake that they make, if they miss even this quarter earnings, you can see the price go down to like 500, 400. And if good news comes out, Tesla can go up, but not 50%, not 100% like what it did in 2020. So Tesla is already priced for perfection. I wouldn't expect any more coming out from there. So that's why I'm just like diversifying into other safer bets. Yeah.
Okay. It is very opposite from what I expected. Got it.
But I did share in my earlier videos that I'm actually trying to diversify out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because when I do see those videos
So
as well.
it's not a hidden thing.
I know, but it's like a passing comment. But like, so if I would even dare ask, right, what's your perfect portfolio? Would you want to reduce the Tesla to 50%? But it really depends on your individual preference.
I think even like 40,
because you don't want to sell
30.
anything yet.
Yeah. And the reason I don't want to sell is that Tesla is a very good stock to sell options on.
Yes. The premiums are crazy.
The premiums are crazy. Like just from Tesla alone, I'm earning like $500 to even $1,000 every 4 weeks. So I have about 300-400 Tesla. I forgot how much.
Yeah, I know you're
Not bragging.
You're bragging.
So just on Tesla alone, I'm earning a decent amount of income that can technically replace my day job if I will ever fail. So I don't have the motivation to sell Tesla yet. So unless they do badly and fail to become a good company, then I will just sell. But otherwise, I'll just keep selling options on it to lower my cost basis or provide me with a side income. Yeah.
Because I heard recently you introduced a wheel strategy, right? But I also heard that you mentioned that you are not too. Are you still mainly? Do you mainly rely on puts or calls right now? Or
just puts on calls.
Both.
Yeah, there are a lot of other option strategies like spreads or whatever. But the thing I don't like about them is that spreads, once you close it, is a realized loss. But for puts and calls, it's not a realized loss. For calls, you are limiting your gains. That's all. But in this kind of environment where the markets are expected to go down or even stay flat,
then it's good if you sell calls.
So calls is least likely to be hit during this whole period. And for puts,
how low you want to go?
How low you want to go?
So
if you want to buy Tesla at 400, just sell it at 400 300.
And actually, I have been selling puts on Tesla, so like I put it quite low, but the premiums are still juicy. But
still very juicy, right?
Okay, based on your videos of my brainwash, I have the conviction because it's something I know I want to have more allocation of. Thanks for that. Okay. Any investing things? You think we can move on to conclusions?
No, I don't really have much on investing because there's so much value that I derive from Kelvin's video already. But I do have one last question in mind is that let's say if money and time was not a problem, how would you live your life?
Wow, deep.
I think like people are chasing money because they want to live life. So if you take out the money part, you want to live life, not live life on your own terms. For me, it's traveling the world. Recently, I met this YouTuber called Jean. She's a
nomad from Bali, is it?
Yeah,
correct.
From Bali. I watched that video too.
Yeah.
So she tells me that, actually I can do that. I can travel around the world if money is a problem. To her, she reached there already.
You're at Pasir Ris Park, right?
I did see Pasir Ris Park.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so that's my current goal. I wanted to travel the world. But other than that, I haven't given much thought to it. Maybe do YouTube on the side, like what Mr. Lu did. This Mr. Lu guy, he's streaming every 2 to 3 times a day, talking about
2 to 3 times a day.
Not a day, a week.
Okay.
Talking about the market or whatever. So he do it for fun. He to share stuff. So I think eventually I will still go that route lah. Three videos a week. I think that's too crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So just share stuff that benefits people eventually. Yeah. I think that's where my life meaning comes from lah. I want to help people. Yeah.
We're about to Google the question. Okay, let's move on to like the last section because I know we are running short of time, right? You can give short answers if you want, right? What is something you would do even if you know that you'll fail at it?
Wow. That's basically my life, man.
Boom! Escalated.
Okay.
Because it's very subjective. Like, what do you define failure as?
Failure as like I said earlier. Since graduation, even in university, I'm just aiming for a passing mark, not even A. I'm done with having A's already. I don't need to be exceptional. I just need to be average. That's all. So I'm failure. Depends lah. Like I think it's passion thing, passion, whatever that fuels my passion lah. Side projects, YouTube.
The app stuff, even though you feel that it's still something worth going through lah.
Yeah, I think if you fail, that means you have more or less have the experience of that thing that can bring forward to forward in your life lah. So for my app, even for my sim life,
Yeah.
they taught me about perseverance.
Yeah.
They taught me about like having priority for myself.
Introspection.
Right. So then the whole project thing, it taught me about setting expectations, not having money as a priority. So like each of the failure taught me something. And now that I'm 35, I've gained all this experience. But if you have not even dared to try, you wouldn't have this experience and you wouldn't be where you are now. Yeah.
Wow, that's good. And the next one?
I was thinking something more big, like have you ever thought of what is the meaning of your life, or what is your own existence? Because I'm quite sure people when they are younger, I come across friends, they are like 25, 28, they are thinking like, what's the meaning of life? Why do I even exist? Why do I come born into this world? Because in Singapore, let me give you a bit of context. Like in Singapore, right, we spend almost 20 years of life to education, and basically we work 40 to 50 years of life, and you get your CPF retirement fund and you just stop working. So if you were to just follow through this cycle, life would be rather meaningless because it's just a human cycle that we're going through. But maybe for your case, now you have went through so much in your life and you have a child of your own, you have a family of your own. Have you ever thought of actually what is a meaningful life to you, or what do you think is your purpose in life?
By default, life actually has no meaning lah. We are just here because our parents are horny lah. Let's face it.
Wow, so direct. So direct. I like.
Because our grandparents were horny. And that's led to where we are now.
Yeah.
But I think meaning of life, some of the thing that you mentioned earlier about living life like that all the way until death. If you are just living life like that, I think actually there's meaning because they are more or less chasing for money. That's one of them. One of them already. Having a kid. Bringing the kid up, that's another meaning already. I think you will be very proud if your kid does well in life. So I think for average Singaporeans, that's already a very good meaning in life already. I wouldn't expect anything more from that already. If my YouTube fails, my meaning in life will be my kid already. So now that my YouTube has picked up, I'm privileged enough to...
You're changing people's lives.
Yeah, you're changing people's lives.
Okay. That's a side
priority, side meaning.
Side meaning, yeah. So to me, this YouTube thing is just to be selfish. It's for myself. It's not for anyone
It's to be
else.
selfish and selfless at the same time. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. So for YouTube, maybe to me, I think it's the goal lah. It's the goal that I said at 80 years old that I can say that I've done this, I've made this much videos, I've achieved this kind of success. To me, that is my meaning of life. Yeah, there's nothing more to that.
Got it. All right. Okay, closing questions. Quick one. What's the best advice have you ever received?
Wow. A lot leh. Maybe...
Okay, top 3 also can.
I think maybe Chicken Genius lah. I think that one, if the first one is that will change my life is definitely the advice from Chicken Genius to buy Tesla.
Best advice. Unconventional. Yes.
Even though just now I was saying that he was giving advice that may mislead people. Many people's lives did change because of him, by buying Tesla. So definitely, I will say...
best advice, buy Tesla. Wow. But this one is like time limited. Like, you need to... Don't buy Tesla when it's like overpriced or something.
Yeah, so like...
Today is July 27, okay?
So that's my best advice. Buy a good company. It can be Tesla or whatever lah. To me, it was buying Tesla. And I grew a lot of my money and channel from there. So that was the first one, buy Tesla.
Okay. What's the worst advice have you ever received?
What's the advice? Wow, my wife. Okay, it's not actually worse. So she's right at the start when I said that I wanted to start YouTube, she told me to stop doing that because like I wouldn't have the qualification. I'm just a programmer. No one would listen to me. So that was the worst advice, which thankfully I didn't listen. I used it as a fuel to build it out and to throw it back into her face. So like
my mind is blown.
So I think like this advice can actually extend to a lot of people. If people say that you can't do this, use that as a fuel Because if you want to do it, you can do it. That's one thing I learned from programming. Anything that you can think of, you can program it out. So anything is possible as
Any
long as
video you think of, you can make it as well.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so don't listen to people who say that you can't do stuff. Use their advice. Keep it. If you can, record it, and if you are successful, just throw it back to show them that you did it.
Wow, okay. Anything else? One last question. 1 year from now, what tangible things will need to happen to you to make it the best year in your 35 years of existence?
Maybe I'm aiming for a second kid. Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
yeah. So yay.
Father.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Yes.
So I think it's not about money, right? It's about finding meaning, right? So the second kid, now that I have experience with my first kid, I know how to not let my kid fall onto the floor often.
Yeah.
So I know how to raise my kid better. I know what to look out for. So I think that for me is a success lah. Yeah.
All right, Kelvin, thanks so much for taking the time. And yeah, thanks so much for everything. You've changed my life. You've changed Andy's life. And I'm sure there's a lot of other people out there that have changed your life. So, and I really appreciate the videos, the hustle that you put in your videos. And yeah, thanks so much.
Thank you so much,
Thank you so
Kelvin.
much.